I had a 60-year-old boyfriend.
Really?
Yeah, that I was really like close to marrying. And really, and like long.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Really?
For real?
For real?
Oh.
No, I'm definitely bisexual. And really, I think if you knew the secret history of everyone, you will not feel any hatred towards anyone.
What would young Amos Yee actually think of current Amos Yee? Are social media algorithms shaping who we are as people now? Like everyone's in their own echo chamber.
Definitely. And which is why like I was so adamant that I thought, okay, when I come out of prison, I will just have a website. I won't use any social media sites. I think only YouTube has a small net positive. But then I realized it just depends on how you use it. The algorithm is just creating confirmation bias. And so sometimes you just actively try to find out opposing opinions.
So speaking of like school being like a mental prison, you've obviously have some, unfortunately, some experience in a physical prison. But being in a physical prison, you still manage to, like the earlier example you shared, you found some friends inside, right? What were some of the 3 most impactful experiences when you're in prison that like taught you something that you didn't feel before?
You mean, in terms of friendships?
Yeah, friendships or like thoughts or opinions.
Ooh. Funny thing. Ooh, I had a 60-year-old boyfriend.
Really?
Yeah, that I was really like close to marrying. And really, and like long.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Really?
For real?
For real?
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. I was close to marrying, and really, it's because I got like deported back to Singapore, which is why it's really hard for us to continue our relationship anymore. But he basically he was I think my first gay experience, and he was actually that person that had depression, and I managed to cure him. I don't know if without the sex could I have still cured his mental issues. So I think it definitely helped. So that was really cool, and that was like really tragic that it had to end. And I think really I found that in my life, the most impactful people to me are not the ones who constantly give advice, who constantly tries to share their opinions, whether enlightened or not. They're really the ones who seem invisible, where they talk less but listen more. And really, like my first ex-girlfriend, who I think is like really the biggest inspiration in my life, that I'm really regretfully cheated on her, and I really regret her doing that to her, which is why she broke up with me. And really, like the kind of friends that I have in prison, I think it's really important for people to know most of the time it's best to listen than to speak, because speaking a lot of times, even if you're right, people might not want to listen to your advice. People might not be ready for it, but everybody wants to be listened to. Everybody likes to share about themselves and have somebody listen to them non-judgmentally. And these are the people that, such a simple thing, which is why many times I forgot that they are important, but those are the people that have been incredibly instrumental to my life.
And would you say that if don't mind me asking, but would you say that if you didn't go to like American prison, you actually won't have that like homosexual experience?
Nah, I think really like even before American prison, I was sort of flirting with guys, but for one reason I thought it was just for fun. I really wasn't. It was just for jokes. But no, I'm definitely bisexual. Definitely bisexual.
Okay. So you.
Although I do think I prefer specifically girls of my same age, but yeah, I can definitely go with guys, especially like the feminine looking.
So you can confidently say that you are actually bisexual, even before prison. Yeah.
Even before, I mean like homosexuality is biological. So at any time I realize that I'm bisexual, then I'm gay. Then yeah, I've definitely been gay ever since birth.
Okay. So you now identify as a bisexual.
Yes.
Okay.
I think specifically it's pansexual, because I think bisexual plus liking transgender means pan. But yeah, whatever.
Okay. So what would young Amos Yee actually think of current Amos Yee? Like if you could time travel back to your younger self with all the knowledge you have now.
I think that
Yeah.
young Amos Yee wouldn't like new Amos Yee. Young Amos Yee, you think, oh my gosh, now you are religious, you should be an atheist. Now you like God, you're so illogical. And now you're also so nice and you talk about respect. What's going on? Just be a badass, be an asshole. And,
Yes.
I think a young Amos Yee wouldn't like me. And I think that's really shows like the huge evolution. I think it's precisely why I underwent this transformation, which is why I think if I can undergo such a huge transformation, from being a bitter atheist to an enlightened religious person, everyone can change. I can change, you can change, Singapore can change.
So you feel that the constant in life is actually change and evolution of the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think really, we're not nihilists. The world is not going to end. We're not just, inherently evil and selfish. I think all of us has the spirit of God within us. All of us has a natural instinct to love, to try to fulfill our fullest potential. And it's precisely because of that, which is why it's inevitable that we unlock our fullest potential and we fight for policies and politicians that represent us that will truly make us happy. It is within our blood that will happen.
And do you think that in this day and age, whether it's in Asian societies or Western societies, right, the word like cancel culture is becoming very dated because no one's actually really cancelled unless they cancel themselves.
A lot of people once they go through scandals like Dkosh, where he essentially canceled himself. He could create another platform and I think he'd have lots of views, but just because he doesn't, I don't know, just because he doesn't want more controversy or he thinks that, I don't think that should happen. You should still constantly speak up, and no matter if let's say what you did was incredibly misunderstood or really objectively bad, you should still have a voice. Because that normalizes, makes you more human, and whether you're right or wrong, that just, gets us closer to the truth of that person and, ourselves.
And do you think it is actually ingrained in Singapore society that we speak about like the Yellow Ribbon Project and offering people to have made mistakes a chance in society, right? But actually there's still a lot of judgment and discrimination, and they judge like, okay, this person at this age they fucked up, so they are forever fucked up.
Yeah, to quote Jesus, whatsoever you did to the least of my brothers and sisters, you did to me. As I said, it's very easy to love people who agrees with you and loves you. It's really a true testament of your love if you start loving your enemies. You start loving people who are the lowest, the actual murderers, the actual rapists. And love doesn't obviously mean like a romantic love. It just means a sense of goodwill. And as I said, everybody has a natural inclination to love and fulfilling their fullest potential. And really, I think if you knew the secret history of everyone, you will not feel any hatred towards anyone. And really, if you were in those same circumstances as Kurt Day or the rapist or a murderer, I'm not so sure that you will not end up like a rapist and murderer. And really, we have more in common with those rapists and murderers than we think. It's just that very luckily, we were not born in such a situation. And really, it's best to show compassion to them, because showing compassion to the worst kinds of people means that you'll show compassion to the worst sides of yourself, which will be activated at any moment of your life. And that is what will lead to healing, not judgment or hatred against those bad characteristics, but love.
And would it be fair to say that humans are all flawed and like only God can judge us?
I mean, yeah, you can definitely judge people. It can't be like a judge and then like, oh, I sentence you. Okay, you murdered your wife. I send you to 20 years. But oh, God said don't judge. No, don't be like that. I think the meaning of the verse of judgment is that you can judge and you should judge in terms of deciding what people are best for your life. But I think the verse really means not literally that you shouldn't judge, but just that you shouldn't judge unnecessarily. And even when talking to bad people, when they have absolutely terrible opinions, they're not going to change their mind. Very likely they're stuck in their own ways. So the best thing you can do is to listen
Mm.
so that you can better understand them. And not only that, you provide a sense of love that I think will get them closer to the truth, a sense of love that they probably haven't felt in a very, very long time. And so you miss out a huge opportunity if you start hating and start judging to understand and to express love.
Mm.
No.
And speaking of judgments and misunderstandings, right? What does it feel like to be banned on all the dating apps now?
I mean, yeah, they definitely shouldn't do that. Yeah, it's definitely incredibly unforgiving, especially since like a very, even if you disagree with what I did, very, very mild offense.
Mm.
And okay, I'm just permanently banned and not, even allowed to find love. And not only that, like these apps, they're supposed to be for people 18 and above.
Yeah. So there's
I-
already the legal guideline there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's just absolutely ridiculous.
Were there moments where you were kind of like disappointed with how things turn out in the media, but you decided to double down instead?
That's how I always have been, right?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, the best thing you can do, let's say they spread lies to, try to correct them, speak against them. And really, it just depends on what those opinions are. Well, okay, if let's say the media criticizes me about something and I'm genuinely wrong, which rarely happens, unfortunately, then yeah, I would definitely want to admit it. That would be great. But let's say, okay, they're criticizing me of something that I'm right about. Like, I should definitely have the rights to speak out against politicians and even like the stuff. I would say I'm definitely right about that. I would definitely double down on defending it. It's not, I don't give two fucks about how much hate I get. If it is real, if it is true, I will defend it, and I think God will bless me for it. Even if initially I lose all my support, my money, my supporters, if I just stick to the truth, God will bless me.
And do you ever feel like consumed by all the attention and the media frenzy at any point in your life?
Definitely. As I said, which is why I really suffer from depression and anxiety, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I would, just to cope with it, I would, as I said, have disagreements with somebody politically. I would just lash out with them, like, okay, go have 3-4 hour debates with somebody on Facebook because they disagree with me dropping out of school. Like, why waste your time with all of that? And I didn't know how to cope with it, but luckily, I slowly managed to just I think the trick with meditation is resisting negative emotions just makes it stronger. You're just repressing it. It still bubbles into you. What you should do is process it, and you process it by opening yourself up to it. To open yourself up to the pain, to acknowledge that yes, I am hurt by these haters and they have made me incredibly upset and angry, and not to say that they never ever made me upset. I don't give two fucks. I really do give a fuck, and it's precisely why you give a fuck about the hate and the feelings that they created to me, which is how you eventually genuinely stop giving a fuck.
That's true. And would you say that wait, let me think. What would current Amos Yee say to your younger self?
I wouldn't say anything to him. I would just let him do whatever he wants to do. Because really, I was the kind of person that, even if there was good advice, I wouldn't listen to it. And so a lot of times it's best to, I think parents, that's what creates even more antisocial negative behavior, like teenagers becoming gangsters and drugs or whatever. The parents are too controlling. They keep on telling them to go study and whatever, and whether good advice or not, but they're not willing to listen to it. And if you give advice to people who aren't willing to listen to it, even if it's absolutely fantastic advice, it just makes them more rebellious and more resistant to change and good advice. So I would just leave him alone. Just pray for him, wish him good luck. And that's, fortunately, what I think my mom especially did most of the time. And I think that's why it all worked out. I mean, a lot of people think that it didn't work out, but I think, that was incredibly transformative. Just let me explore it and just trust that I will figure it out. And I think eventually I did.
Yeah. And what do you want to say to your mom who has been with you throughout all these like difficult times?
Incredible. Very, very incredible. I think just very, very incredible. Where many times she could have just, I think a lot of parents would have just like, it's too stressful, and they would just like distance themselves from it. She has always like helped me emotionally, helped me financially when I need it. So very cool. Very cool.
What's your biggest regret, if you have any, that has nothing to do with the internet and nothing to do with your activism?
Biggest regret. Well, I really don't believe in regrets.